All right, so we're live. This is along the Sumida River, and I thought I would bring you on a run with me. Hey guys, this is a new area along the river. They just opened this up, so I can actually run all the way, I don't know, like 25 kilometers straight towards Kita-senju, which is way on the top north of Japan. Hey everybody. So I'm gonna give this a minute before I start. I kind of didn't really plan to do this live episode, but since I was gonna do a midnight snack run. Hey, bloody Mr. Brick's in the house. I'm gonna restart this in a minute. I just want to catch my breath a little bit. But I came out to this point and I wanted to start the live stream here because this is a brand new area that they opened up about a month ago. All right, so let's start this live stream for real now. All right, take two. All right, action. So there you go in the distance is the Tokyo sky tree. And yeah, it's midnight. It's hard to focus when it's dark, isn't it? Huh. You think the iPhone would just go to infinity. Well, this is the Sumida River. And I'm John, and behind me is the Tokyo sky tree. And I thought I'd bring you with me on a night run. You can see over there, there's also another runner. Tokyo is very safe. Even in the middle of the night, people are running and putting in the work, exercising, because in the summer it's just so hot, and the only time that you can really go out running is like this time or early in the morning, like 5 or 6, because around 9 a.m. it just gets so hot. This area was just newly opened. This is not too far. You can see beautiful bricks, and there's a police boat here, and up here is a police station that they've opened up. Yeah. And I come running here quite often along the river. I used to run in Edogawa Ward. The Edogawa River has no traffic lights, no intersections, nothing for like 100 kilometers. You can just keep running. That's like 80 miles without anything to block your way. And then out here, welcome to the city. We really don't have any. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. On the left side of the screen, you see the Tokyo sky tree, and then you see the Tokyo highway, which just wraps around the entire city. The highway wraps around the rivers because in 1964 when they built these, it was the only place that they could do it really quickly without, skirting all of the laws. They had so many different, if I put my hand here, the Tokyo sky tree will come into focus. Hey guys, midnight run. Yeah, I do have my Suica card, so if we do find some vending machines or something, I will be able to buy some drinks and stuff like that. But there's a couple of things on the river that are of interest that I thought you might like, and I'm gonna run with you, starting from this point. Well, you're gonna run with me. I'm not gonna run with you. You guys running? So starting from this point, we're gonna run towards those neon lights. This is what it's like when I go running every day. And you can see on the left side, that's part of the Tokyo highway system crossing the Sumida River. Yeah, have my light with me. Hope this inspires some people to go running. Now I can eat a lot of food for the shows because I'm always out running and trying to burn it off and stay in shape even at midnight. I go out for a run. Some people think I'm crazy. That's all right. One of the things that I've noticed in Tokyo that's really sad is that gradually, as the technology changes, the neon lights are kind of dying out, and you don't really see a lot of neon lights. I think it was about 10, 15 years ago, all along the highway, because millions of people ride the Tokyo highway, drive it, and there used to be a lot more advertisements, and the only ones that I see neon lights are right there in front of us. So I'm gonna run up there and then give you a quick look at some of the neon lights. I mean, Asia was really famous for having some really outstanding neon lights, but I don't know. All right, let me get up there. it's really changed. Ah, here's a map. You can see where we are. All right, come on. We're not quite there yet. That's pretty neat. You can't see it, it's too dark. All right, here we are. All right, so I'm gonna show you these two neon lights, and there's a couple down here. There's also some more up there. I'm kind of in between. I'm in between where Asakusa is and Hamacho, and Yogoku, where the sumo wrestlers wrestle, is just across the river over there. Yeah, here we go. This is one of these good old neon lights that we don't see a lot of anymore. It's kind of washed out with the video, with the iPhone 7 Plus here. We got a couple up here. This one looks like two chili peppers, right? But it's really Hamanaka is what it says. And I can't quite read it. It's all blurry. Tetsukimi. I can't read it. Ami Ito? Interesting. Oh, it's so washed out. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it's an ad for something, but it's a little bit better. But you know, all along the riverside, it used to be so beautiful. We had a lot of these neon lights, and now there's not much of anything. What you get at like things like this, just TV screens, advertising stuff. So whenever I see a neon light, I'm kind of like attracted to it to take pictures of it, because this was a part of was a part of the culture where you would just see these everywhere in front of the train stations, and now they're kind of just dying out. It's an advertisement, but you don't see them that often. I think it's because the invent of LED and just the power that's needed to, although I thought neon lights were pretty inexpensive, but I always hoped that kind of lighting style. I stepped in something. You know, the Sumida Gawa sometimes will overflow, and I think it was about last week when I went running here, there were jellyfish along the trail here. And you had to watch where you step, because you don't know, some of these jellyfish might just, okay, here we go. Some of these jellyfish might just sting you, or you could slip on them. Now this part of the river, can you make me an admin? We could talk about that. All right, I'm gonna put the light on. You can see this. Along the river, you also get these, do you see it here? Like, there's paintings that show the history of Tokyo. I think that now it's clearer. This is what this area looked like about 150 years ago. And as I run along the river, you get a lot of these paintings, this art that you probably wouldn't see as a tourist, because you don't come down here to go running, I don't think. But they're all along the wall of the Tokyo riverside. Check it out. It's really beautiful. And this part of the city is very famous. This is where Nihonbashi is. Nihonbashi is the most historic bridge in Japan. This one looks like a dreams come true. What is that? I think this is just an ad. Yeah, this is just an ad. But lots of really beautiful art. Can you make that out? That looks like two women with a quilt. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here's some more of the bridge. It's kind of dark. We'll find, there's an area where it's a lot brighter. This is part of Nihonbashi, and you can see the bridge was really beautiful. Well, actually, you can't see. It's just kind of too dark. All right, there's more over here. Yellow False writes in, why am I running it this late? Because this is the only time it's cool enough where I can take. Okay, here we go. It's just cooler now. In fact, there's lots of people running on the river right now. It's just too hot in the daytime to go running, so you got to run when you can. Yeah, this is a ukiyo-e, some traditional ukiyo-e, but enlarged and painted onto the side of the riverbanks. Oh, you can hear the bosuzoku, the gang, the punks on the motorbikes. It's really beautiful. Check that out. You hear a lot of people revving their engines. It is after midnight. And then in between each one of these, you see just kind of like a print. This is a guy, looks like he's selling senso, or flags. No, sorry, fans. He's selling little fans to people that in the hot to keep them cool. Thank you, Nitor 100. Okay. So this here is the Chuo Ward's Nihonbashi Elementary School from the year Heisei 21, which was about 9 years ago. And the school kids have painted on the wall here. What do they paint here? Check it out. We got like frogs, lots and lots of frogs. So this is kind of like Japanese graffiti. Oh, look, there's a conductor. There's some sort of art. This is cool. And I'm right now running. It's midnight. I ran from here. This is the Sumida River. It's dark. I'm right here. There's an advertisement for Bulgari yogurt. I guess people in Bulgaria make the best yogurts. I don't know, that's what the sign says anyways. All right, let's check out, here's another. I'll show you a couple more of these paintings here, and then we'll sit down and have a little chat. It's nice and cool outside. All right, check this out. This is a beautiful mural from a ukiyo-e print. There's a cherry blossom. If I get closer, the light makes it a little bit brighter. This looks Edo, maybe Edo period near Meiji restoration. It looks like, yeah, kind of like a Western style building, doesn't it? It's interesting. It's too dark for me to read what it is. Oh, here it is down here. This is the Tokyo Meisho, which is the Mitsui Meiji. Oh, this is in the Meiji period. Yeah, the Meiji period's around 1860, late 1860s, early 1900s. Yeah, interesting. All right, I'll show you a couple more. There's a guy who's carrying, a porter carrying goods across Nihonbashi, and absolutely no graffiti, and it's really safe to be out here. Oh, that's leading up to the Imperial Palace, I believe. Okay, here's a couple more stuff. Hey, Faye. All right, this is the Chuo Ward, the central ward of Tokyo's elementary school. This is the Tsukiji Elementary School. 9 years ago, they drew these. Elementary school students drawing probably their parents. Some of them look like zombies. In fact, they all kind of look like zombies, which is kind of creeping me out since it's midnight. But this is some of the art that you'll see along the riverside. There's absolutely no graffiti. Check it out. Absolutely no graffiti at all. And above me is the Tokyo Highway. It is slightly creepy. Let's see what else we could find. There's a famous one right here. Oh, is this it? It's hard to see because of the dark. Oh, wait. Is this? This looks like the temple that I was at the other day for. Do you remember I did a live stream for the Bonodori? This looks like the temple in Tsukiji during the Meiji period. Oh, no, it's not. But it looks very similar. This is Chuo Ward. This is the center. Near it looks like Kyobashi, near Tokyo Station. You can see the people down there. This is, yeah, Meiji restoration era. Is there any place for legal graffiti? No. No, not that I know of. And Banksy has not been here yet that I know of. They're doing some construction here. This is where I dropped my iPhone 6 on the 6 Plus and cracked the screen. So some bad memories from this area. Well, you gotta behave yourself. Check this out. Now they have all these like wood structures. I know it's gonna be hard for you to see this. And you can run through these like unfinished houses at midnight. It's kind of dangerous. Hit yourself. All right. Above me is the Tokyo Highway. All right, there's one more painting I wanted to show you before I go somewhere else. All right, let's run a little bit more along the Sumida River. Yeah, this is what my friend Joseph does. He runs the Tokyo Marathon live streaming like this. He answers people's questions while he's running. All right, this is the Achuo Ward Gymnasium. All right, so this area is a little bit brighter, and gotta watch where you step here. But it's a lot brighter out here than it looks through the camera. All right, there's some more Meiji era paintings on the sidewalk here. It's like a little slice of life in Japan at this era. Check it out. So this is, let me see if I know this place. Tokyo 48 Geizaki Bashi Yori Chuo Ward Kyobashi. So along the river. I guess this is around where this place is, where I am right now. You see there's a small bridge, but this doesn't go across the Sumida River. There were only a couple of places where you could cross the river behind me, the river behind me, and they were by ferry. They didn't have any bridges going across the Sumida River. You have to go by ferry to get to the other side. So ferry drivers made a pretty good living. It's kind of neat to see life being represented on murals along the river in a place that you would be highly graffitied if it was any other country. But here in Japan, it's pretty safe to go running at night. I run quite often between 10 and 10 p.m. and midnight in Japan, in Tokyo, because in the summer, because it's just too hot to run during the day. There's some more ukiyo-e. Yeah. All right, this is the last one or two I'm going to show you. This is kind of neat. All right. So this is Nihonbashi, the bridge of Japan. Yeah, this is a great one. Let me get the highest light. This is as bright as it can get. I'm sorry. Normally this is it's actually a lot better with this light than during the daytime. But up there you can see Mount Fuji. So this is ukiyo-e print enlarged on the side of the riverbank. And I love these murals when I run by them every time, because it's just like, it sets me in the scene that I'm actually here in Tokyo. Sometimes it's kind of overwhelming to me. I'm gonna put, hold on a second guys. I'm gonna put the wide angle lens on the front here for you. So maybe, all right, there you go. So I put the wide angle lens on the front so you can get a better view of what this looks like. It's absolutely beautiful, and there's dozens and dozens of these. And as you get closer to Ryogoku, which is where the sumo wrestling stadium is, you get images of sumo through the history along the riverbanks. This one is a scene from Nihonbashi, because I'm not far from Nihonbashi right now. And it was, gosh, I wish I was here to see it. Now over Nihonbashi, there's a highway that goes across it, and it's kind of obscured the view or the beauty of the bridge. But traditionally, Nihonbashi was like a huge commerce point connecting the two sides of Tokyo, and now it's kind of really ugly. It's it's actually a controversial issue. Should they redo Nihonbashi, Japan's bridge, before the Olympics? I'm in favor of it. So, and this is the very, very, very famous ukiyo-e print of Nihonbashi. A lot of you might have seen this before. You could buy postcards of this just about in every tourist area. These are people carrying goods across Nihonbashi, and down here in the corner you can see they're kind of taking a break, just completing they were in pretty good shape back then, I'm guessing. Here in the corner looks like there's a dog. It's funny that they put the back of the dog, or is it two dogs? One of the dog is coming to sniff the other dog. That's kind of weird. But yeah, you can see the ukiyo. They've the artist's name and stamp is on there, and it says up there Nihonbashi. The year is not written. The Tokaido is written up there. Tokaido, the 53. I think it's the first stop of the Tokaido, and the Tokaido is the highway. And a lot of you, if you don't know, sorry, oh, we're close here. A lot of you don't know the history of Japan. Know that the Tokaido was the route that started up. It started right here in Nihonbashi, and there were 50. Gosh, I don't want to make a mistake. 52 or 53 stops along the highway, and I rode my bicycle about wow, really? 2005. That's 13 years ago. From Nihonbashi, and I rode it all the way to Kyoto, to Gion. There's a marker there, but the Tokaido goes all the way down to Osaka. The merchants lived in Osaka, and the government was here in Tokyo, and the Tokaido was how they got stuff back and forth. A lot of the stuff down in Kansai came from abroad, the west, because Osaka, Kobe was a port where a lot of things from Portugal came in, and they would come up through the Tokaido. Now there were a lot of samurai along that road, so there was crime, but not as much as you would think, because the samurai would just chop off your head if you did any kind of crime at all. Here's your trial and executioner, and life was pretty tough back then. So hey Faye, so you're brave as a night runner. I'm terrified in the dark, with my imagination would run wild. I'm gonna be fine. I've been running here for a long time, and this is not a kind of spot like underneath the highways that you probably would want to be in any other city except for Tokyo. And other cities, they're a lot quieter. And anyways, if something does happen, we're live. So somebody please call, not 911, but 119 or 110 is the police. Reverend 900, when will there be Space Boat Adventure? Peter and I did the Space Boat, gosh, when was that? Back in March. Yeah, wow, 6 months ago. Time's really flying, but I think I'm gonna do another Space Boat feature, and I'm gonna see if I can get permission to go inside the cockpit. No, they don't call it cockpits. If it's a space boat, is it the cockpit, or is it like the bridge? Is it where the captain is, or is it something that's is it like a real? If it's a spaceship, it's a cockpit, right? I want to sit in Captain Kirk's chair and maybe steer the space, but they're not gonna let me steer the space boat. But that would be pretty cool. So right now it is really late, so obviously there are no boats except for police boats. And I saw one police boat patrol the Sumida River. On the left side of your screen is the Tokyo Highway. And now that I have a driver's license, I'm gonna be taking you on the Tokyo Highway sometime in the next 30 days. That's the promise, okay? Put that in the book. In the next 30 days, you will be taken on the Tokyo Highway with me. Should be a lot of fun. Like right there. There's lots of cars. So even though it is after midnight, there is lots of traffic. There are people out here, and there's no problem at all. Some of you might be scared, but me, nah. You're talking to somebody who traveled around the country with a cardboard sign. Getting from place to place. I'm not afraid of the dark, although We're under a bridge right now. This looks like where there could be homeless. Oh, there's another runner, see? I'm telling you. Gotta do the runner's nod. Yep, we've acknowledged one another. How you doing? Now this is a pretty neat area too. This, and along a lot of the riversides here in Tokyo, a lot of people might be wondering, is that a zombie herd? What? Stop it. It's not quite midnight, is it? I'm not sure. All right, in a lot of the areas around Tokyo along the riverbanks, you're gonna find places of recreation because it's one of the only places where they can have extra space for something like this, which is what I'm gonna show you right now. This is, does anybody know what this is before I tell you? I bet you somebody gets to it before I do. Anybody know? Bueller. Nothing. So this is a place where the dogs and cats can play. Yeah, Nosh, you got it right. This is a place where zombie dogs and zombie cats can play, but apparently they're all out right now. But you'll find places like this all along the riverbanks. Now this one is for, hold on a second. Okay, that's the name of the park, but there's one for small dogs and there's one for big dogs, because you don't want the, I believe that's why they separate them. There's two of them here. Or is it one for cats and one for dogs? I'm not sure. Hold on, here's the sign. We're gonna get an answer right now. All right. Free area. See here. Dogs tsurete nai hito. Okay, so make sure you take care of it and be careful. It says it's dangerous. Abunai. And also, please be manner. If your dog is, well, you know what? I think it's better if you guys just get the idea. What do you think these signs mean? Very nice. So it's pretty cool. And here are the rules. Basically, if your dog does a doo-doo, clean it up, and it's closed right now. Oh no, hold on a second. Oh yeah, it says the hours are from 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at night. So technically it's closed. There's a lock on it right there. So there's a people who maintain the river, and they're always taking care of the river. I guess they call them K-bean. K-bean are rent-a-cops, and the rent-a-cops are always here taking care of little things like this, locking it. There's a guy who locks a gate back there. I've talked to him a couple of times. Yeah, I usually make friends with all the transient life along the city side, so I know exactly what's going on. These people who live out here, they know exactly what's happening because they're here all the time. Yeah, but it's pretty neat to be running out here on the riverside. Check it out, there's another sign. That's all kind of washed out. But once again, a lot of the signs look like this. They're not neon lights anymore. I kind of miss the neon lights. You know, Shibuya's Hachiko used to have all of these neon lights. It was really, really bright. But now they've kind of changed it over to more TVs, more banners with like paintings with lights on it. It's not quite the same. There's a couple of places where neon lights still exist, but I kind of miss that. My first experience 20 years ago was in front of the train station. I was just like blown away at Okayama, which is a small capital of a prefecture south of Osaka, west of Osaka, southwest. And I was just blown away, like, how does this little station have such bright lights like Times Square? It's not that big of a city, but whoa, it's bright. And I remember staying in a training center right across the street and looking outside my window and just opening the window. I'm like, yep, that's Japan. And you just have like a bazillion neon lights flashing and all these different patterns. And nowadays we don't have as much of that. It's just really, I guess, people saving energy or something. It's kind of a shame. So you're running. Yeah, I'm doing a zombie run, and there's a lot of zombie run comments here. I'm scrolling through what you guys have written. No neon lights. Yeah, I wouldn't say no. It's just a lot less. And my image of Asia, like Hong Kong, I believe still has a lot. And there are some other areas. I get a light here. There are some areas, other areas that have in Asia that still have the neon lights, but Japan is moving towards the LED. And there's kind of like a war going on between LEDs and neons and old school lights. For example, anybody who's gone to, here's another example of it. Anyone who's gone to Osaka's Galikoman, do you know, at Ebisubashi. It's in the middle of Dotonbori. Now this is what I'm talking about. They've moved. This is along the highway, so people driving can see this. It's just a TV. I'd love to see this if this was a neon light. Now they've moved it to TVs and stuff, car ads and things like this. Yeah, no YouTuber's gonna show you this stuff. Hey, Mr. Bricks, thank you. I appreciate that. By the way, I did see your message on Patreon. Thank you. I saw that. I appreciate you reminding me that your name is not actually Bloody Bricks. I know that, but I really appreciate the support, and it's kind of cool. Here, let's see here. I want to actually start to run home because I'm still editing video. But here's some boats. Down here. These are, I believe, emergency boats. So if something happens, the police come and they take these boats and they can quickly, like if somebody falls into the river or something, they can quickly get to them. It's locked up by gates here. Yeah, right here. There's the police mascot. Oh, that's the Coast Guard. Oh, come on, light. It says here, Tokyo Rescue. With a dog. Dogs are not the best swimmers. They should have put Aquaman or something. I guess that is Aquaman. There's the 119 is the Japanese emergency number, not 911. It's 119. And that's the mascot for the rescue, or the Coast Guard, I believe. Yes, even the Coast Guard in Japan has a mascot. And the Coast Guard has some boats here, the rescue. Oh, that's pretty neat. Check it out. Well, I know this exists, but this is the first time I'm always looking at the boats, but I haven't really looked at, check that out. This is made out of tile. This is pretty neat. And this is some dude, looks like I guess he lost his luggage. Somebody scraped it off, maybe. It's pretty neat. They put it with tiles, and this is supposed to be, look like the local area. I like if they've added some gold to it. Hey, Eric. Yeah, just doing a midnight run. This is pretty neat too. I like that. This is like stuff you'd see in ancient times in Rome or something. But they've put this together here in Tokyo. Oh, this one's got some gold in it too. Man, if this was New York, I gotta say that some people would have taken these out and collected this. I don't think it's real gold, is it? I don't know. Is it? It's hard to say. I don't know. I don't think this would last very long in any other country. That's pretty cool. This is along the riverside. Oh, check it out. We have a geisha in tiles. No other YouTuber will bring you this kind of content. Riverside tiles at midnight. Come on. Click that like button because this is insane. Look, you can see her eyes. They've really gone the extra mile to bring you her eyes in cracked tiles. It is really stunning. I think these kinds of things look better at night with a bright light shined on it than in the daytime. People just walk by this and don't really appreciate the beauty of it, and at night you can get closer to it with the light, and it just brings out the colors a lot more. It really is pretty. This is an 8-bit geisha. That's right. Let's see what else they got here. All right, they got some a ferry, a guy ferrying passengers along the river. That's part of the history of the Sumida River. In tiles. This one's really beautiful as well. This looks like the street. There's an intersection where people are you know, doing something. That does look like a zombie though. That so much looks like a zombie. Doesn't it? That's a zombie pose where the arms are stretched out, no face, really messed up hair, and it just like kind of wandering. These aren't zombies, but that's a zombie. Totally. Very cool. All right. And that's another geisha scene. Hey, Peter. See, you're out of the tiles tonight. That's right. It's a midnight tile run. It just sounds ridiculous. Like, what am I doing? I'm not really sure. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you just go out here and you see if something works or not. I didn't know what to expect. I said I'm gonna take you guys running, just see what happens. I live in Michigan, and John made me hate Ann Arbor. No, don't hate Ann Arbor. Just hate Ann Arbor between September and October and November, when Ohio State plays up there, and then that's okay. It's beautiful. I mean, that had to take a lot of work, and it seems like almost wasted that it's out here on the riverside. Yeah, Jim, I know that you're a Wolverine too, Jim. I forgive you. Wow. That's really nice. I'm actually really glad that I came out here with the light, because you know, we walk past stuff every day and we don't really appreciate it, and it's like moments like this where you can stop and take a look at your surroundings, just like this, at things that, you know, maybe I've run past this 100 times and I haven't really appreciated it in such a way. So it's kind of neat to share this with you, because I really, hey, idea for the postcard, Faye? Yes, that could be. By the way, the postcards are on the way, so yours is in the mail. Yours is in the mail. So I'm not gonna tell you which pattern I picked out. It was either gonna be the Oiran and Geisha, or it was gonna be the Aomori Nebuta Festival, but I put it in the mail today, so it's on the way. You'll see what it is in a couple of days when it gets to you. And if you guys want a postcard, go to the Patreon, and until around the 15th, I guess, I can send you this month's postcard, because the rules for Patreon changed, and you can get the postcard right away if you want to. This month's, it looks really good. Even Kanai, I got it. I actually got it a couple of days ago, and I opened it up. She goes, "Wow, these are really good." This month's is I think it's one of the best ones. The typhoon has gone. That's right, the typhoon has gone. We had a typhoon that sort of skirted past here yesterday. All right, and in the distance you can see Tsukuda, which is the island like Manhattan. It's kind of dark right now, but the riverside is very nice. One of the prerequisites for moving, when I moved apartments in April, was that I had to live near the riverside. I had to live near water. And one of the things that, and Jim and Bloody Bricks, you guys might appreciate this, but one of the things that worried me the most from moving from the East Coast in the US and then moving to the Midwest was that I was gonna be so far from the ocean, and I'd never been away from the ocean for as long as I was when I moved to Ohio State University back in 1992. I was sort of freaked out. I felt like I was landlocked. I said, well, how am I gonna go to the beach? We don't have any beaches in Columbus, Ohio. That sort of freaked me out. So since then, if I live anywhere, I try to live somewhere where there's water. And guess what? Japan is like an island. So we have water and beaches everywhere. There's good things with that, and there are bad things, as we saw on March 2011. But that's stuff that happens like once in a millennium. This is nice. You have a lot of people eating lunch. They bring bentos out here and they'll sit on the park benches overlooking the, and if you can tell, there's no trash cans. There's no trash cans out here at all. And what you see right here is like people clean up after themselves. That's pretty crazy. And there's no homeless people sleeping here. This would be pretty comfortable. If I had a tent, I would pitch my tent. I don't know if I'd pitch it here, but this is a nice place to, would be a nice place to pitch your tent because it's pretty quiet. It's flat, it's dry. Goku's asking about me driving, and I think that's a pretty good question. I actually rented a car last week, and I canceled it at the last minute because the place I was gonna film had canceled, so I had to cancel the car rental. I was gonna do a live stream in the car. Shingo was gonna go with me, and we're gonna try to do something next week before I go to Singapore. By the way, just a shout out, I'm gonna be doing a meetup in Singapore next weekend. Not this weekend coming up, but the next weekend I'm gonna do a meetup in Singapore, and it's gonna be really nice to see a lot of people that have been watching the show down in Singapore. I did one in Malaysia already, in Kuala Lumpur, so it'll be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to it. And Kanai, my wife, is coming with me. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. More park benches. Peter writes in, "You have no food, no midnight snack." I don't know if you said it exactly like that, but no, right now I'm just doing a midnight run. Literally run. Actually, that's sort of funny. Typically, a midnight snack run includes me just running to the convenience store, but this time I was actually running. And this is where I run along the river. Yeah. Do a meetup in Michigan. You know, I'd love to, but Michigan is, you know what? It's on my my list of top 1,000 places to visit. I'm not gonna say exactly where. Sonu, thank you very much. I'm glad that you like the channel. This is different than the main channel. It's kind of a free format. I've got the wide angle lens on the front, by the way. There's some steps going up. Now this, when I go running every time, these kind of bridges creep me out the most. Do you see? You have to go through here. You gotta watch your head. And you're going underneath the highway, and they're you can see they are doing some construction. Let me get out of here real fast. It's kind of creepy. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Light at the end of the tunnel. All right. Watch out for trolls. Did they take the Suica card? I can pay by IC card then. That'd be pretty funny. There's no zombies, although there are two people sitting at the table over there. Have I spoken too soon? That could be anything. Zombies don't typically sit though. Why am I whispering? Maybe I believe the hype. Just walk quickly. All right, just keep walking. Keep walking. They're not chasing me, are they? We're good. We're good. I can turn the light back on. I've seen the movie, zombies don't run that fast. They could never catch me. Although, wait, if it's the 28 days later zombies that run real fast, or the I Am Legend zombies, those are kind of scary. All right, now we're coming up to another overpass. This is where there's a lot of, like, I don't know, the Tokyo highway system is just so crazy looking. So we're getting to another one of the places that I have to run underneath bridges. But we're at midnight here on the Sumida River in central Tokyo. You can see, you can hear, it's very quiet. We do have crickets. The smell of, it smells like the sea. You know, it's not, I don't know if it's salt water. I don't know. I've never tasted the Sumida River. I don't think it's salt water. I don't know. It could be salt water, but it smells like salt water. It's got river smell. I don't know. I don't know how you describe it, but it's a smell of maybe like the East River in summer, or the Hudson River. I don't know. I guess New York is kind of similar. There's another runner. That wasn't a zombie, Peter. That's a runner. Ghost story. All right, guys, you know what? There's actually, there is a terrifying ghost story that I can tell you and take you to a place in the city that, I brought it up with my wife and she said, don't go there. I was reading the history on it. There's a place in the city that is seriously, like, for hundreds and hundreds of years since, like, during the Tokugawa period, like way back then. It's a samurai ghost story that's still kind of creepy, and it has an impact today. In fact, it has such an impact today, it has impacted the way that the city is constructed so that they don't construct anything in the place where this ghost is. It's actually kind of a creepy story, and I'm kind of creeped out talking about it at midnight. If I do it, I'll do it at like sunset so I can get the heck out of there. It is a very scary story, and it's partially true, which is the creepy part, because something did happen. A couple of things happened. Events happened that make people believe this superstition, and you know, who am I to? I won't disrespect the ghost either, because you have to respect the cultures and traditions of the places that you're at. But this ghost story, it really, you know, okay, I'll try to do it in a live stream, and I'll do it out of respect for the ghost, not as an entertaining way, but as a way to respect the ghost, because I think that this is a story that if I tell it, other people will learn to respect this ghost as well, instead of, you know, I don't want bad stuff happening to you either, but it's a pretty good one. I'll see if I can do this next week. My wife told me not to do it. That's why I haven't done it yet. Her father, my wife's father, I'll see if I can introduce you to him sometime, but he knows this city very well. He's been all over the place, and he knows the history of it, and I think he also said to her, tell him not to go there. Because if something bad happens, it could be because I've disturbed the ghost. I'm serious, guys. All right, Ash is out of here. I don't want to be haunted. I did see a ghost once, and I'm not joking. There was a situation, I wouldn't call it a situation. The first place that I lived at was across the street, literally across the street from the castle, Okazaki Castle, where Tokugawa Ieyasu was born. He was born in Okazaki Castle. That's how I know, because I lived across the street from it. 50 meters away. 50 meters is like, what, 150 feet away from the castle. I go outside my door, and the castle's right there. That's how close I live. And I lived on, I don't remember what floor it was. This is 20 years ago. And wow. It's still kind of creepy to think about it, because I'm here on the river. Every night after I'd moved in for a couple of weeks, the water, the tap, would go on, and I'd wake up and I would turn it off. And I thought it was just, you know, maybe an earthquake or something was turning the water on. I don't know, like just the spigot was bad, and I had the landlord come in and looked at it, and I think they fixed it. He said there was nothing wrong with it. So yeah, it was a pretty old 1K apartment, like one room. The washing machine was outside the front door. It was kind of like low scale, pretty cheap place. But it was built across the street from the castle. And this water would be turning on, and you could hear the tap coming on, not full blast, but pretty strong, every night. And it was in the middle of the night, and I would wake up, like you go to the bathroom, you know, you wake up, you hardly remember it. I would go to the bathroom, and would turn off the water, and I'd go back to sleep. But it was happening every night. And then one night it turned on, and when I woke up after hearing it, that's when I believe I saw a ghost. I believe I did, because I could see the outline of what was a woman just staying there, and she was, I don't know if I want to talk about this, she was crying, okay, and just there. It was very faint. pretty sure I could make out the woman, and I knew she was crying because you can tell. You could tell she was sad. And then was gone, and I was just like this, okay? I woke up and I was like this. And I didn't move. And I didn't want to get up. And I was teaching for an English school, and I asked to be moved after that. Here's the creepy thing, okay? This is the thing that creeped me out the most. All right. After she'd shown herself, and I believe that she was turning on the water to try to communicate with me that she was sad, and by turning on the water, this was symbolizing her crying. I can't really say for sure, but maybe that was, I'm trying to find a way to make a connection. After she'd shown herself, not only did I never see the ghost again, the water never came on again either. And I haven't really told a lot of people this story because it was really creepy. In fact, it's kind of giving me shivers up my spine right now because check it out. We're like, there's nobody out here. True story. That was 1998. That was the first year I moved to Japan. That was in the fall. I'd moved in July into the school. Actually, August I started to work, and then around I guess it was the end of September or the beginning of October. No, it was October. This is when I remember on TV they had Nasubi, I believe. Yeah, Nasubi was a comedian that they made him take off all his clothes, and they put him into a box, and he had to, the only way he could live was by getting free, entering contests and magazines and getting free things like food and clothing and things like this. It's actually a very bizarre story. That's also weird. 1998, yeah, that's when I saw it, and then I never saw the ghost again, and I ended up not moving, actually. But after I moved and finished my job there, a year later, they moved the apartment to another area, and no one else lived there. And I don't know if it had anything to do with the ghost, but the only person that I had told was the manager of the English school that I was working at, and she kind of dismissed it. And then I just said that it kept on happening. And when you see evil spirits, sometimes you will go to the local shrine, and they will have a priest come and bless the place where the spirit is to try to get rid of the spirit. But I don't think I needed to go that far. Honestly, I didn't want the night after I saw the ghost, I still went home, and I just could not sleep. It was probably the worst night of sleep. And then nothing happened. The water didn't turn on again, and gradually, thanks to Asahi beer and stuff, I was eventually able to get over that. But wow, that was 20 years ago. Literally 20 years ago. Yeah. So, do I believe in ghosts? You're darn right I do. I don't think they show themselves to us, but I know that there's presence, and you can feel it sometimes. That's why I'm somewhat reluctant to show you this other ghost story, which is not too far away from here. We'll see. Bloody Bricks writes in, she better have stopped because of the water bill. Yeah. Well, I turned it off pretty quickly when I don't know what was happening during the day when I wasn't in the apartment, but at night, that's when the water would come on. It was usually between 2 to 3 a.m. And I only remember that because I had a big clock near the door. It was the only empty place on the wall that I could really put anything because it was such a small apartment. But yeah, those are really creepy days, and that's when I realized this country, Japan, has such a long, old history, and if you can't really compare it to the United States history-wise. It's just America is such a young country compared to Japan and even China, for that matter, in this area of the world. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of stories, a lot of porta potties. What? All right, there's kind of a little shift back. They're doing some construction here, and I'm actually really close right there on the corner, which you can't see, that's dark. Now you can see. Right there that's what is the Nihonbashi brewery, and they have they make their own craft beer, and you have a nice view of this bridge here. There's a nice view of the bridge here. They have neon lights. I don't know if it's neon lights or LED, but it lights up the bridge between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. and then the lights go off. It is beautiful, and this bridge should be finished, I think, by next month. They've been doing construction on it for a very long time. Tokyo, believe it or not, is kind of like Venice in the way that the city has a ton of canals that don't get a lot of appreciation. You could take it used to be that you could take a kayak and float the kayak and take kayak trips through the canals, and now there's a lot of signs, and I guess, you know, because of all the tourism, people have abused it. And then if one person abuses a right, they shut it down for everybody and make the entire society suffer. Just like with the drone laws, we didn't have draconian drone laws until some guy flew a drone onto the roof of the Prime Minister about 3.5 years ago, and then the next day, boom, they came down with a heavy hammer, and the Parliament enacted laws saying that you cannot have drones in the city of Tokyo, just like that, and the world changed for the worse, because it would be nice to have a drone. But I guess it was a good thing that they didn't. Japan is like any other country; they're reactive to the laws, and when something happens, that's when they enact the laws. Bloody bricks! I just heard a big thud, and now I am scared. Isn't it morning where you are? But check it out. This is the brewery, and it's closed. It's quite dark. And it says here, beer. Beer. But not open now. Not in the middle of the night. The ghost of the brewery is past. You hear the keg being changed right now. But, you know, I'm 20 years removed from that story, so it doesn't have such a big impact on me these days. But back then, I think I think that it was a good ghost, and I don't know if there's bad ghosts or good ghosts. But if you watched Poltergeist, bad ghost. If you watched, the movie Ghost, good ghost, right? So there's bad ghosts and good ghosts. I think that was a good ghost. She was just trying to communicate, and I listened. I listened like this. That's what she's communicating to me. I think, in hindsight, maybe I should have been more reactive and tried to communicate verbally. But I don't think she spoke English, and back then I didn't speak any Japanese at all. All right, now I'm crossing the street to go home. So this is where I'm going to end the live stream with 20 seconds of a Sukiya's curry rice, 24 hour. Oh, I could do a midnight food run right here. Oh, okay, maybe not tonight, but that's actually not a bad place for a midnight food run. All right, this live stream had absolutely zero meaning other than a couple of people out for a run, and I'd gotten 5K before I kind of stopped to tell you the ghost stories and show you some of the paintings, but it's been pretty. No cars in Tokyo. That's creepy. That's creepy. All right. Midnight food run. I will do a midnight food run, and I think I'm going to take Kanai with me, and we're going to do it together. I have an idea of a couple of places that we can go, and it might be just before midnight food run because she tends to get sleepy around 11:30, and I get sleepy around 2:30. So, yeah, we might have to do it something like this. Tokyo 28 days later. Those are the kind of zombies that I'm scared of. And right now I am looking at that curry rice place, and I'm starting to think maybe I should go in there. But I'm not equipped for it. Anyways, thanks for listening to my stories and sharing a midnight walk. This live stream is brought to you by Bloody Bricks. Thank you for the super chats and everybody else for supporting the channel. I just wanted to take you out tonight to see what it was like. It's kind of creepy. Yeah, just making sure I don't miss anything. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye, Okapi. Okapi's back home, probably already asleep. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing another live stream. I have a really nice idea. Tomorrow we're getting closer to the weekend, so I want to get some interesting stuff at you. I also have another main channel episode that I'm working on, 2 of them right now. I just finished one of them. One of them is a traditional Japanese candy called amezaiku, which is super interesting, and it's an art that's sort of is dying out because there's no young people coming in to take over for the artists. And there's one guy here in the city who is becoming something of a master, if not he is a master, and he's keeping this alive. And he has several people who are studying under him. They're learning the craft, and then they're going out to open up their own amezaiku, traditional Japanese candy stores. And I'm kind of want to show you that to help to protect something that I think would be really sad if it did die out. That's the kind of stuff that I really like to protect, you know, local businesses and local art. All right, this is even creepier when we have the light like this underneath the trees. So thank you very much for joining me on this midnight run. I'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. It's from the 1960s Batman show. Anyways, thanks everybody. Good night.